As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We'll serve him.
Do we have any mothers in the audience this morning? We would like to say God bless you for all of the wonderful, wonderful things you've done for us that we didn't deserve, but you chose to do for us. And hopefully we have lived in a way that we haven't brought you any shame, that we haven't embarrassed you. Well, we already know we've done that. But thank you very much. Ladies who are mothers, grandmothers, adoptive mothers, would you please stand? Be seated, please. Father God, we want to say thank you for our moms, for these ladies who have spent their lives in trying to give to us the things that we have needed the most to help us become the kind of people that would bring honor to you. God bless each and every one of these ladies. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. This sermon this morning is a message from a mother to a king, her son who became king. And it's very powerful. It's interesting the thing that she chooses to talk to this son about, this king son of hers. She recognizes that there's something very important that needs to take place, something that he needs to know, something that he should not forget, because the sin can easily beset us if we're not careful. Let us think about this. Lesson number 1 from the text is that moms are always moms. From the time that baby comes onto the earth until mom is no more or the child is no more, mom is still mom. And they never get to the point that they feel like they don't have a right to say what that child is supposed to do. They're always mothering a child. Why is that? Because they love their children and they recognize that children are a gift from God, and they want to make sure that that child grows up the way that they're supposed to. They recognize that there's a lot of dangers in life and that you need to be alert, you need to be conscious, you need to be aware of things that might overcome you, things that might detract from who you become. So we need to be careful. And here are some of the things that all of us know, the rules that we learned from their mother. What rule is this? Look both ways when you cross the road. Where did we learn that? Our moms taught us that. And you know what? When you look both ways down the road, which way do you look first? You look to your right, then you look to your left, and then you look to your right again. Go to Jamaica and you'll get run over because they're driving on the wrong side of the road. And you'll step out there and there'll be a car right there where it's not supposed to be. What's the rule for this? Don't run with scissors. Why? You'll put your eye out, right? Yeah, don't run with scissors. What is this one? Don't make that face. You'll get stuck that way. I don't really think that's true, but maybe that's why I look like I do today. I love this little one. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times I don't want you playing with matches. I like the one. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times. Don't exaggerate. What's the rule on this? Always wear clean underwear. I've never been able to really understand that one, because if I'm in a car wreck, the last thing that I'm going to be thinking about is, ooh, do I have on clean underwear? Because most likely it's not going to be clean anymore, right? Why do our mothers constantly warn us about the dangers of life? Why is it that they're so concerned that we live the way that we're supposed to? It's because moms love us so much. Notice that he says in verse 2 here in Proverbs 31, O son of my womb, the answer to my prayers. We start off our lives carried underneath the hearts of our moms, and we never leave that spot. Our mothers are connected to us in a very real way. Robin Williams put it very clearly. He said, moms know how to push our buttons because they installed them. And whether that's your belly button or all of the things that moms know about us, they know us so well, and they know exactly which buttons to push. Our mothers carried us and they put us in their hearts, and we have never moved away from that physical connection and that spiritual connection. Moms gave us life in the most wonderful way. Mothers seem to have a sense of what is going to help us and what is going to hinder us in life. They have an amazing ability to foresee things that will be a detriment to us. I think our mothers know us better than we know ourselves. And they know the things that entice us and things that will be a problem to us. That's just something moms know. They know the gifts that God has given us. And our moms are the ones that are concerned that we don't squander the gift that God has given. And they try to hone those things so that we will be not only good, upstanding individuals, but also good, upstanding Christians. But isn't it interesting that in the context of this sermon, here is a mother talking to a king, to her son who's an adult, and she reminds him of how important it is that he not be involved in addictive things, whether it's alcohol or drugs. We live in a time where we are dependent upon drugs of every shape, form, and fashion. And the abuse of those drugs, the abuse of alcohol, the abuse of over-the-counter prescriptions, marijuana use. I mean, it's amazing how easily those things have come into everyday life and everyday society. And why is that? I think it's because we're trying to escape. We're trying to get away from something. We're trying not to have to face reality. We're trying not to face the responsibility of life. So we're looking for a way to get out. And you know what? It goes all the way back to the time when we were little children and our mothers made us get up right then, not wait 5 minutes, but right then, and take out the trash. To do those things that were unpleasant to us. Take your medicine. Medicine is for sick people, not for well people. That's why they made medicine taste so bad. I talk about Granny Chase a whole lot, and Granny Chase had a lot of home remedies. And you know what? You know what her number one remedy for everything in the world was? Tobacco juice. She could put tobacco juice on a mosquito bite, or if there was an open gash, she would put tobacco on that. Or coal oil. I don't know how many teaspoons of coal oil I've had over the length of my childhood. Coal oil, that's what you put in your lamp to burn. CW, you're not supposed to eat that. How many of you have ever had a good dose of castor oil? Man, if you take that, you realize, oh, I feel well enough not to want to take that. I don't want that, so I'm feeling better. You would go to school with a 112-degree temperature if your mom came in and said, here's your castor oil, you're going to stay at home bundled up. But Lemuel's mother understood that trying to cop out on things, trying to get away from responsibility, was not the way to go through life. It's interesting that if mothers and fathers will take a firm stand against the use of recreational drugs, the abuse of drugs, whether they be alcohol or prescription drugs or illicit drugs, that if parents will stand up and verbalize that they are against those, you know, more often than not, children will not participate. Do you believe that? There's been some studies done, and let me find that. I think I have a slide on that. Here's the point. In families where parents believe that marijuana use is very wrong, only 4.1% of their children ever smoked marijuana. But listen to this. When children believe their parents are the least bit tolerant of marijuana use, even if that only means that the parents answered, "It's wrong," instead of "It's very wrong," the rate of pot smoking went from 4.1% to 27.4%. What was the difference? The mother saying in the child's ear, "It's wrong to use mind-altering substances." That there's a reason for you to go through life and to be responsible for who you are, that if you cop out on life, you've missed out on the most important thing, and that is what? Life itself. How many of you know who Irma Bombeck is? Irma Bombeck was one of the best writers of everyday life and having a humorous way to look at it. Do you remember that she wrote a book that was called "Life is Not a Bowl Full of Cherries"? Another title to another book was "Life is Always Greener Over the Septic Tank." Isn't it interesting that life is filled with struggles? And brethren, let me tell you this, that oftentimes struggles are the things that draw us closer together. Whether it's in a family or whether it's in a church, we need to realize that it is hard times that make us grow up. Our whole purpose in life is to go from no responsibility to being responsible. When you were first born, think about it, you couldn't eat by yourself. Your mom had to feed you, had to change your diaper. Everything that you're responsible for came a little bit at a time, and our mothers, our parents gave us a little more responsibility and a little more responsibility and a little more responsibility as we were capable of handling it. So it's up to us to acquire those skills needed to be a competent, capable individual. Drugs hinder that process. Moms want to see their children succeed in life. Drugs cause us not to be successful. Moms want us to be successful, hence these crazy things happen. Can you make that picture out? This is a picture of Ralphie from the Christmas Story. Remember how his mother dressed him in about 20 layers of clothing in order to go outside and play? How many of you have had that happen? Being in Texas, maybe you didn't have to wear long johns and then a jumper suit and then a ski suit on top of that and earmuffs and all of the other things that go with that. I grew up in Illinois, so I can sympathize with that kid. Can you make out that picture? That's Ralphie with the bar of soap in his mouth. Did your mother ever wash your mouth out with soap for saying something you weren't supposed to do? I love this comic. Stop texting and do your homework. The teenager says, "I'm a master at multitasking." The mom comes back and says, "They've done studies that show multitaskers don't really crate that well." Then the boy fires back, "What did you say?" I rest my case. We really are not good, and mothers know that. They're trying to make us be responsible. Eat your vegetables. Is broccoli even a vegetable? I think it's a tiny tree. Take your vitamins. All of those things were to bring us into being successful in life. Mothers go out of their way to do things that will improve our station in life. They want us to become capable. They want us to become self-supporting, to stand on your own, to be able to be responsible in any given circumstance. Is there any power higher than the king? By the way, do you know which king this is? This is King Edward of England. One of my favorite kings, I don't know why. But you know what? Just because you're the king doesn't mean that your mom can't tell you what to do. You know, here's Lemuel, who's the king over an entire nation, and his mother is in his ear saying, here's what you need to know, here's what you need to do. And she goes down that long list. Stay away from wild women. I want you to not be a druggie. I want you to be fair. I want you to be just. And she's in his ear giving him this advice when he's king. Stop and think about what addiction does to us. It makes us incapable. It makes us irresponsible. It makes us unsuccessful. Now, that can apply to alcohol. It can apply to drugs. It can apply to anything that would move ourselves away from responsibility. Can't there even be a boyfriend or a girlfriend that does that? Yeah, dads, we know that some old long-legged boy steals our precious daughter away from us, somebody that's absolutely no good, and all she can think about is how wonderful this boy is. I don't care that he has bad breath or whatever else. I don't care that he doesn't have a job. I don't care that he's mean to his mother or whatever else. All they can see is that I'm in love. Addiction to anything is a bad thing. It muddles the mind. It saps the spirit to where you don't want to do anything else. It reduces your motivation to want to get up and get out and do what needs to be done. The abuse of any kind of drug, prescription or otherwise, leaves us, what's the song that Jimi Hendrix? Purple Haze. Yeah, you've been listening to the right music, haven't you? That's a good song. Purple Haze. What is that? Let the drugs take you away to where you don't have to think about anything, that I'm just in a haze. Sometimes we're in a fog. We're in a perpetual haze because we're not wanting to deal with the responsibility of life. We lose touch with those that we love the most, the things that are most important to us. So be careful to put things right, in their right order. When we're addicted to people, addicted to drugs, addicted to anything, we lose our self-discipline. We lose our diligence to be strong, to be courageous, to do what the Lord has called us. We lose good judgment. Really, being addicted to anything does what? It robs us of the most precious thing that you have, and that is life itself. It steals your time. If you read your bulletin today, they're on the front, I think it's on the front, where we see how quickly the present becomes the past, and how the future comes way too quickly and passes before we seize the moments of that day. Life is so short. People are so precious that if we miss out even 1 minute on the wrong things, we've wasted our life. Lemuel's mother saw a need to remind her son, don't get caught in Satan's trap. Be constantly aware that the devil is going to try to make you waste your life, waste your time. Here in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 18, Paul preaches the same sermon that Lemuel's mother has taught centuries before. Do not get drunk with wine, for that is debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. This term, debauchery, actually means wasted. Anybody here a Carrie Underwood fan? Carrie Underwood sang a song here a while back that I think makes a lot of sense. Here are the lyrics to that song. Another glass of whiskey, but it still don't kill the pain. He stumbles to the sink and pours it down the drain. He said, it's time to be a man and stop living for yesterday. Gotta face it. I don't want to spend my life jaded, waiting to wake up one day and find that I let all my years go by wasted. I don't want to keep on wishing, missing the still of morning, the color of the night. I ain't spending no more time wasted. He looked in the mirror and his eyes were clear, and for the first time in a while, I don't want to spend my life jaded, waiting. I want to wake up one day and find that I let all the years go by wasted. Lemuel's mother understood how quickly wasting your life can ruin who you are. Your reputation can be spoiled in an instant on doing things that you normally wouldn't do because you've altered your thinking capability. We need to be very careful. God bless this mother of King Lemuel who said, don't waste your life on these kinds of things. Now you would think that if you had time with the king, that you would talk about a lot of other things other than drugs and alcohol. And you would think that on a Sunday morning when we celebrate our moms, that we would talk about something more important than addiction. But you know what? It is a problem. It's not a problem out in the world. It's a problem in families right here in this congregation. It's a problem amongst people that we would have no idea that they struggle with an addictive personality. And you need to hear that God can heal. And God can replace whatever it is you're chasing, whatever it is that you're looking for to fill the void in your life. God has the answer for you today. God is willing to heal what is broken in your life, and God is willing to grant to you this family. Look around you. There are a lot of surrogate mamas here today who are willing to love you and embrace you and to strengthen you, to comfort you, to support you, to cheer you on, to correct you, to help you. That's what Christian moms are all about. They don't just raise their own. We have many, many young moms here today, and praise God that you're bringing your children here. But you know what? There is a virtual treasure trove of women who have reared their children that can help you as you face struggles with your children. Use that. Moms, thank you for reminding us of things that we don't want to know. Thank you for taking the time, for making us listen and take the medicine that hurts the most. Today, if you need God's help, to help you heal, to help you come to Him, to live the way that you should, we offer this invitation. And we ask that you would come to Jesus while together we stand and sing.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We'll serve Him, we'll serve Him, we'll serve Him, for He is worthy. And choose you this day, oh tell me, who will you serve? Let nothing stand in your way, give the praise He deserves. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.